A 1-1 draw today. How do you reflect on that?
2 points dropped. I thought we was a better side throughout. It was a tough game in terms of, I didn't think the referee helped the game again. We stand here again talking about officials making wrong decisions. You know, the two lads have had a little tussle on the floor, 2 yellow cards, let's get on with the game, do you know what I mean? He sent both of them off. And then the final decision at the end I thought was disgraceful. Again, penalty. The geezers fell over, wrapped his leg around. I said to him after the game, I think it is when a player dives in the box a minute earlier trying to win a penalty, you have to be clever enough to understand that's what they're trying to do. You know, but in terms of chances created, second half, I mean, we've gone through on goal 4 times, made the bad decision in the final third, not clinical enough. We could put the game to bed 3 or 4-0 by that point. We didn't. You always give them a chance. And I think, you know, on reflection, it's disappointing because they've worked so hard to get the 3 points. Probably deserved them, but unfortunately you come up against a team that is just sometimes as dogged as you, putting challenges in, playing all the antics, rolling around, trying to win penalties. How their number 3 stayed on the pitch, I'll never know. I mean, the guys in double figures on fouls, I won't understand that for a long time. So it's disappointing, you know, and you've got to try and pick the lads up from that because it's 2 points dropped. You know, they're deflated in there, and it's good that, in a respect, that they do feel that way because it hurts them. But they have to get better in the final moments in games where we need to be better. You know, and we don't need to go charging in the box to give the referee a chance to make a decision, even if it's wrong or right. You give him a decision to do. So yeah, we've got to be better in them moments, but it's disappointing for the lads and ourselves.
Yeah. And looking back to the red card earlier in the match, you set up with a different team today. Did that throw a spanner in the works because you had to put Reece back into midfield at that point?
Not really, no. I think, you know, we knew that we could exploit them wide. You know, their pitch is very narrow. They go long ball. They play on seconds. They try and put tackles in. You know, do all the old stuff very well, and that's what they've always done. So we thought we'd exploit them, try and go wider, get the full-backs forward, play with 2 strikers. I felt like it worked, to be fair. And then obviously the referee makes a decision that changes the whole complexion of the game for both teams again. So it's just hard to stand here week after week, whether I've won, lost, or drawn. Officials have got to get better and make the right decisions. It's as simple as that. It's ruining football for everybody, and I think most managers around the country will say the same thing at our level, or even in non-league as a general. They've got to get them decisions right, but you know, we then have to change formation. Not much change really. We just went to a back 4 instead of a back 3, and then the game became scrappy and tough, and both teams bound to 10 men. And you know, it was hard work out there. You know, there's a lot of running done from both sides. You know, big spaces to exploit. It's a big pitch. But I thought we was a better side. I think we created more to probably go and win the game. They had a couple of shots first half. Louis made a great save, and then a deflection, ricochet that, you know, could have gone anywhere, and you know, he's got up and saved that. But apart from that, I don't think he's had a great deal to do apart from a few crosses. You know, we've been in so many good situations today and not took advantage of them. It's criminal really. The lads know that. The attacking lads know they've got to be better in front of goal, make the right choices, make the right passes. Or sometimes taking the corner flag when you're winning 1-0 instead of trying to take people on. So, you know, they'll learn. There's some young players in there, but they've got to learn quickly.
Yeah, and you mentioned not taking chances there, but Jamie Walker, he did take his chance quite well at the end of the first half.
Yeah, he did. You know, again, it probably sums up the game. A long throw in, ricochets about, we score from that, and they score from a penalty. Probably not a true reflection of how some of the chances were created or the situations that we got in, but yeah, he took his goal well, and sometimes just got it at the target, and through crowded bodies it went in. So, you know, that puts you in the ascendancy. They'd not really offered much up, apart from, like I said, hurling stuff into the box, very direct, playing off seconds. So we was comfortable with it, and then, like I said, the penalty decision at the end. It's a tough one to take because I think when we watch it back, you'll see that the guys bought it, but you know, can't put yourself in that position to let the ref make a decision in that, because he took again 3 or 4 seconds to make a decision, so he was unsure about it. But I think you've got to gauge it off what the lad did before that, where he just flung himself to the floor, and the whole ground laughed, to be fair. And you know, that was kind of the way the game was going. They was only going to get something out of the game for our mistake or a decision like that.
Yeah, and it's Carlton Town away next week. Their form's been quite downwards in the early part of the season, but they've picked it up in the last couple of weeks, and you know, managed to secure a few points here and there. So, what do you think going into that match?
Again, tough game. There's no easy game in this league. You know, if you're down there, you're up there mid-table. Most teams are capable of beating each other, and I think you just have to concentrate on what you're doing. Try and play your way. Play with a gusto and an intensity that you can hopefully go and win the game. And that's what these lads do. They give their all out there, to be fair. But it's them fine moments like I said, 97, 98 minutes, whatever he'd played on the clock. I think we ended up playing 11 minutes of stoppage time today, which again, I don't know where he's got from, but we won't go there. So you have to just keep going till the final whistle, and they're the kind of moments today that we've got to get better at. So we'll be working on that in training in terms of how can we stop the cross before it comes in. How can we be in a better position to defend that, you know, and I'll watch the VO back and look at that. And that's the beauty of having the VO. There's no hiding place for any of the players out there, you know, shape-wise, tactical, whatever, myself, evaluate myself. So we'll look at that and we'll see how we can work on things in training moving into that game. So again, we're looking forward to it. It's another game of football. We haven't lost today. It just feels like a loss because we feel like it's 2 points dropped.